Guys, just to put that into perspective, the most powerful 500 I've ever ridden was actually a KX 578 owned by Dr. Dyno, Ben Probst, who spent more on dyno tuning 500s than anybody else I know in the country. And that thing was a monster. It was all top end. Unfortunately, Junior was going to race it in the Sand Hill race, and he probably would have won, but the engine ended up seizing. When you run the ragged edge on a two-stroke 500, that can happen. This is actually a pretty mild state of tune, and it's pushing. You had 82 horse on your best run, right?
Yes, yeah, and this is only 7 pounds of boost. You could run this on pump gas all day and never have an issue. You know, we're gonna throw some designer fuels in it and see if we can make a 3-digit number pretty soon. Though.
You had pulled 82 on one of your runs, right?
Yes.
That was without an air filter on it.
Yeah, that was with no air cleaner. We are running out of injectors, so I have a bigger injector on the way, and we're gonna install that after Americade and go for 100 horsepower or more.
Yeah, there's if you guys want to see this bike, it's going to be at Americade at the Kaplan Cycles booth. We have it'll be our first event. We're taking the transporter and the whole Gasgas lineup, including this one of only, the only one in the world, the only turbocharged by Mr. Turbo himself, Justin Harris. So really impressed you're able to pull this off on short order. And this is a completely custom kit. Can you describe the kit a little bit?
Yeah, so this is a Garrett GBC 14200 turbocharger. And it was pretty trick. We were able to mount the dump off the exhaust through the frame rails, and also the pipe coming off of the engine to the turbo through the frame rails as well. It's a pretty cool setup. We're running the oil feed off of the oil filter housing, and we're running the drain to the clutch cover right here. And we also, a lot of people made comments about where's the blow-off valve? You need a blow-off valve on this setup, but there's actually a blow-off valve tucked in the rear right here that most people didn't realize. There's a lot hidden behind the side covers on this bike, and I kind of like it that way. It's not really a sleeper, but it is at the same time because it's so tucked away, you really don't even notice that it's there, especially when you're riding the bike. I'm excited to see what we could do.
How many custom turbo bikes have you built? I know we've got the turbocharged CB750 over there, and we have your turbocharged Hayabusa here.
Yes.
How many turbo bikes do you own right now?
So this is number 8 at the moment, and number 9 is on the way. I'm building a turbo CBX 6-cylinder, so that's going to come down the pipeline pretty soon here.
Nice, nice. And you have the Top Gun bike too, right? Describe that one.
Yeah, so that's a GPZ 900 that I built from the ground up, and I've had that bike a number of years. It has an old Mr. Turbo kit on it, and I think that's where we nicknamed me just from doing that video.
I was in a motorcycle club, a 1% club back in the day, many moons ago, and actually everybody had a road name, so it kind of stuck. You know, we got the Wizard, we got the Manic Mechanic, you're Mr. Turbo.
Yeah.
So they just come kind of natural. It's an earned thing, you know. You just don't get your road name for any. My original road name was Smokey because I had an RD 400 two-stroke before I got my Harley in 1990, and they made me ride at the back of the pack because I didn't want to smell a two-stroke. But within a couple years, I was a road captain riding up front because I could outride anybody in the club.
Yeah,
I won all the bike games and stuff. But you got to have a nickname in the industry. So let Mr. Turbo have his attorney call us, but that's what we're going to call you. So
I know Mr. Turbo, Terry Kaiser. I have his number, and we're actually friends. I've spoken with him on the phone. I haven't gotten permission yet to use his name, but I'm sure he'd be more than.
Tell him no offense meant, but someone's got to wear the shoe. He's getting up there in years, isn't he? How old is he?
Yeah, he is. I want to say he's close to 70 years old now, and he did shut down a number of years ago. So we're not completely robbing his brand. But
how old are you?
I'm 25.
How many other 25-year-olds do you know in the country that can hand-build, custom-built turbo systems like this?
I might be the only one.
Yeah, you are. That's what we call a rhetorical question. But when I met Justin, he had a shop. I bought 3 Honda 750s, and what else did I buy off you that day?
No, it was actually 4 that's what it was. Yeah.
4 CB750s, and they all ran perfect, and he had resurrected them. And I saw his shop, and I saw his turbo bikes, and I said, what are you doing for a living? And he goes, well, I'm in IT. And I said, you know, you remind me a lot of myself, because when I was your age, I was in IT too, from 25 to 45. And then I started this business about 15 years ago, and just closed the computer business last year permanently. But this has been my blood, sweat, and tears and motorcycles. And I saw a lot of me in you, and I said, man, this kid's going to be stuck in IT for the next 25 years. He doesn't belong there. He belongs in this industry, and you've taken to it like a fish to water. I mean, you've been resurrecting old knuckleheads and panheads and flatheads and building world-class turbocharged brand new motorcycles, and there hasn't been anything we've thrown at you that you haven't been able to tackle. So we're really pleased to have you on the team, and excited to see what you'll be able to create in the future here with this natural. You have a natural innate mechanical ability that I don't think can really be taught, to be honest with you. It's kind of like trying to teach someone to be Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali or a Mike Tyson. Yeah, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the thousands of hours, but you're surrounded by the best people in the industry, the Manic Mechanic, the Wizard, Bill Kelly, Jimmy Laurinaitis. I mean, these guys are true pros, and together, hopefully you can Vulcan mind meld all their hundreds of years of combined experience and put your own twist on it, because really you are the future of the motorcycle industry. You're the future of Kaplan Cycles. You, Devin, Andrew, Ronnie, Carlos, the young guys, because the rest of us, I'm going to be 60 next year, and Man Mechanics said he only wants to do this for one more year. We're trying to get a few years out of him, but seeing guys like you in your age demographic have such love and passion for this sport. I mean, you rode your turbocharged Hayabusa to work today. Yeah. We got to show them your CB750. Let's go show them your CB. So, Justin, without any professional help or guidance, you were able to create this. I'm sure you have some mentors and that kind of thing, but how long did it take you to build that turbo bike? You just only had that very short time, right?
Yeah, I picked the bike up only about 2 months ago, and I just did that on weekends. I work here nearly 50 hours a week, so I really didn't have much time after work, but on the weekends, I would just grind 10 hours a day until it was done, and about 2 months later, it was done.
It's freaking awesome. This is one of the bikes that I saw, and I was like, Justin needs to be on our team. He needs to be in the motorcycle industry permanently. You do not belong behind a computer, that's for damn sure, unless it's programming a fuel injection system for your turbocharged bike. But this thing, guys, you've seen a lot of cool bikes, but this is just badass. Can you describe this bike to us, Justin?
Yeah, so this is actually the first bike I ever turbocharged. I built this when I was 19 years old. It's a 1971 Honda CB750. It has later Super Sport tins on it and whatnot, but the engine I built from the ground up. This was one of the first engines I ever built too. It has a custom billet block made by Mike Rick, who is actually one of my mentors when it comes to engine building. And it's not the normal 736 cc's. This is actually 1040 cc's.
Holy shit. Have you thrown this on the dyno yet?
I have, and I made, at only 3 pounds of boost, it made 105 horsepower, which I think is already the horsepower record for one of these, but...
Wow. 3 pounds? Why such a low amount of boost? Is it not safe to turn up a little more, and what would happen if you did?
No, that was actually just the wastegate spring I had in it. I thought I had a 10-pound spring in it, but it was only like a 3 or 4-pound spring. So I'm going to come back and swap springs and really see what this thing can do.
I love the look of that engine from the side. You can see that's looks much more beefy than a regular 750.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is made from 7075 aircraft grade aluminum too, and there's no sleeves in this engine. It's actually Nicosil plated compared to the traditional one where it have cast iron sleeves.
It's funny, I'll never forget the day I met you and I saw this bike and your other turbocharged bikes, and the bike you have that had previously set the land world speed record, and I was like, this guy's a natural, man. He needs to do this, live your life doing this. You need to live, eat, breathe, sleep, and dream motorcycles, because obviously you already do. But if you've been watching the videos, you already know that Justin's a sandcast guru, and that was another mentor of yours that had helped you out over the years. I think your neighbor, you said, owns how many of these 750s?
Yeah, he owns over 50 of them. I actually bought this bike from him. This sat in his front yard. It was an old AMRR racer, so this bike was actually raced professionally back in the 70s. And I ended up buying this. It was half covered. It was half covered with a tarp, and so half of the bike was seized. Everything on one half of the bike was seized, and the other half was all free. But over years, I bought this bike when I was 16. I was still in high school, and by the time I was 19, I built it all up the way it is now.
So yeah, Justin was able to recant when we had the sandcast came in, and you single-handedly restored that sandcast from the frame up, and it came out like a brand new. Matter of fact, that bike, the Sandcast, will be at Americade because we have a museum booth. Then we've got the Kaplan Cycles booth. We're going to have the full lineup of Gasgas, the full lineup of Buell, including the Super Cruiser, guys, which is unbelievable that's going to be there. We're going to have Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Buell there. So we'll have the Buells, the Stark, the Gasgas, and then Justin's turbo bike, his other turbo, the new 450, and the 750 Sandcast that you restored. So 3 of the bikes that you personally built will be there. And if you guys want to come and pick his brain and meet him, please do. And if you want to check out these badass bikes, it's a world-class machine here, no doubt. Tons of character. What's it like riding this thing with 100 horsepower on this old style frame? And
interesting. it's very interesting. Honestly, this is probably the sketchiest bike I own, and my Hayabusa makes 3 times the power, but this thing still it'll make your hair stand up for sure.
You've got great suspension and brakes on the Hayabusa. This thing is like it's like riding a bicycle with 100 horsepower, man.
Yeah, this is original suspension. It's but like you said, it has character to it, and I really wanted to leave it that way.
It's funny, when we were talking about the bikes we're going to bring to Americade and display in the museum booth, I was like, we got to bring this Turbo 750, man. And I said, please don't wash it. You know, it's got the AMR sticker still on it, and it's got so much character. It's a total, I think, a road warrior when I think of this bike, you know. And then of course the new 450, that thing's going to be quite the conversation piece there, and the Sandcast, and we're bringing some old Harleys, one of 500 military Harleys made in 1942. We're going to have one of those there. So we're going to have a killer display at Americade. Hope to see you guys all there. It's only a few hours from New York City, so if you want to come check it out, they have some really incredible sights and scenes up there at Americade. It's one of my favorite rallies. One of my favorite rallies to ride at. The riding up there is ridiculous. The roads are just phenomenal in any direction. So guys, if you want to see and hear this badass 2024.5 factory edition Gasgas at Americade, please stop by the booth. We're also going to be giving away 2 brand new custom toolboxes worth over $300 each with Americade graphics on them. One's a Gasgas theme, one's a Buell theme, and we're also raffling off a brand new 2024 Gasgas MC125. So, and the raffle tickets are $10. With the raffle ticket, it doesn't cost you a penny because you can use that ticket as a museum entry here, so which is $10. So it really doesn't cost you a penny, but you basically buy a museum ticket and get a free raffle ticket. So we'll be at the event. That'll be at Americade coming up this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So hope you all have a great weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend. I'd just like to take this opportunity on the eve of Memorial Day weekend to thank all of our veterans and all our active military that make it possible for us guys to play with motorcycles 24/7 in the safety of this country, this great country, the United States of America. Very grateful for everybody's service and keeping us safe. It's a crazy world out there, but I don't think you're safer anywhere than they are in the United States of America. So thank you all. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. And as always, God bless the United States of America.